Hello, and welcome back to Therapist Plays Night in the Woods. All right, it is time for this little trash kitten to meet our friend B and go to the graveyard. Yes, we just had hilarious for us, but unpleasant conversation with Mama Cat about what would happen if we were going to have a little trash kitten baby of our own. Which, it's interesting how, like, the conflicts between May and Mom earlier kind of centered around, like, the financial impact of her decisions. While Mom seems very enthusiastic about the idea of having grandchildren. Even to the point of, you know, you just have the trash kitten and give it to me. If financial burdens be damned. However, I will say, I think it is so precious that she says things to me like, you know, if you do end up pregnant, you can always come to us with that. Like, I was kind of snuck in there, you know, in the midst of like some joking conversation, but that is, I think, one of the true pillars of their relationship and the family dynamic that stands up even when, you know, they're having problems. Like, I can basically guarantee that even if they were fighting about something and, you know, May said, I'm pregnant, you're going to have a trash kitten grandbaby, she would instantly go into Mama Cat mode again. So that is very, very valuable, I think, for May. Now, we should do some town exploring. And we've got a whole new region. Curious to see if there's any updates, too. We should, of course, see if germ and rabies are around, which does not look like we can go down there. So, we can just head back through town then. I'm sure we'll see rabies again. At least I hope so. Rabies is the coolest. But yeah, think of how much knowing that is a form of support that you would get from your parents compared to B and Greg, for example. Or most especially Angus. Like, that's one thing I think May could be more perceptive of, is like, especially after a conversation with Angus about just how shit his parents were, that basically all of the interpersonal issues between May and her parents would fall away if she was truly in a crisis, even one of her own making. I think that's, like, makes them rock stars as parents. So we got great parents, got great friends, and then there's Selmers, who is in a very special category all on her own, which is the category of being an icon. Hey, May. You all right? Yeah, I guess. Why? You look like you went through the dryer on the wrong setting. Yeah. Long week is all. You want to hear a poem? Cheer you up? Of course. Sure. Life goes on. It feels so long. But I report, life is too short. Come on, Selmers. Come on, Selmers. What is with these little snacks of poems that you're just handing me out on the street when I know that you're packing serious heat? Okay, after that masterpiece you delivered at the library, I know that you're packing heaters underneath all of that. Here's another happy one. Life is great, but life is hard. Let's grill hot dogs in the backyard. Thank you, Selmers. They cheer you up? Yes, they really did. Yay! No, I'm just messing with you, Selmers. They're all fucking bangers. But you gotta build up some momentum and draw a real crowd for those big ones. Shazakov's up there again. He ever, like, drop that telescope? Oh no, he'd cry his eyes out. He loves that thing more than his kid. He has a kid? Yeah, name's Colin. Visits every once in a while. He is hot as hell. You talk to him? Nah, he works at some university research place. He's not interested in this. Selmers. No stupid boy would be worth your time if they're not immediately stricken with your amazing poems. They do karaoke at Miller's, but only like twice a week. Should be every night. I agree. Okay, let's go see what Mr. Shazakov is up to. Bad weather coming soon. Feel it in my bones. Okay, I think he's out of things to say to us. I'm pretty sure we heard that from him before. And I also can't forget that today I need to feed my babies. I've got some thieving to do and some baby rat feeding. Thieving and feeding. It's gonna be the start of my poem. Next time I see Selmers, I'll have a poem for her. May! Mr. Shazikov. You look a bit worse for wear today, May. So people are like picking this up about her. Oh, I'm fine. I made it up here, didn't I? Watch yourself, lest you fall. Will do. Here to see some stars. Yes. Come have a look. Okay. Thankfully, we didn't burn our face off this time. Okay, there we go. No? Yes. Gotcha. Oh, which one is this? Adina Astra, or Adina. You know this one? Yes, I know this one! It's a common story. How Adina journeyed to the frozen lake, how she traversed unknown faraway lands. I was very into Adina stories when I was a kid, so you must know what became of her. Yeah. How she, in her quest, turned her back on the sky and journeyed down into the earth, where her stars were no longer over her head, and how she was never seen again. Yeah. Whatever. Is that not a sad ending? Yeah, I mean, she probably died. No, disappearing isn't the same as dying. Okay, I like that. She probably went somewhere else completely and did all kinds of cool shit. Oh my. Yeah, so whatever. Okay, it's kind of unusually dismissive of her. I think we're seeing more of a preoccupied mind from May. You know, it says something that everyone we've interacted with so far, Mom, Selmers, Mr. Shazikov, not so surprising about Mom, but the others as well, all noticed something. You know, we're more fatigued. We seem like maybe not so well. For someone who's already a little disheveled and looks like they woke out of bed at 3 p.m. because they did, we must have some sort of dramatic difference of appearance. Or just some presentation. Like, we're normally a lot more lively, a lot more energetic, a lot more silly. And seeing our affects and the content of our speech be a lot more restricted. So our friends and our acquaintances are picking up on this. Now, if your therapist picks up on that, which they're likely to, you know, you seem a little more down today, a classic rookie mistake would be to ask, what happened? What's going on? Do you want to talk about it? Well, it's with good intention. Naturally, the instinct is to be a helper, a problem solver, an emotional support. But just look at her behavior. And the natural response to her own distress is to avoid it. Doesn't really want to talk about it, doesn't really want to open up. Seems to be exiting conversations, you know, a little bit more quickly than normal. I've talked quite a bit about like the situation in therapy where you need to sort of stabilize and down-regulate someone, you know, if their anxiety is very high. But there's also a situation where, more like this, the person is down-regulated already, more so than they normally are, and the strategy is actually to do some up-regulation. Now, the down-regulation stuff is kind of obvious. It's like, oh, you know, your heart's racing, and you need to do some breathing and relaxation and whatever. Upregulation is a little less obvious. Like, how would I get someone like May, who doesn't really want to talk about the thing that's going on, to naturally want to engage with that process without also distressing her? I don't want to force her to talk about the bad thing or unwind her thoughts. She should only engage with them when she feels like it's not going to be an additional emotional burden to do so. Like, we want her to feel confident going into that conversation. I don't think it's as simple as sort of distracting her from the preoccupation of her thoughts. That's a little bit of like what we're doing here. But she doesn't really seem interested in engaging with like intellectual things. Maybe, but also maybe not, like playing some music. That might also be more stressful than beneficial. She needs something that's going to help energize, that doesn't feel like it's adding additional weight to like, you know, mental exercise and that sort of thing, but feels like kind of therapeutic I'm thinking of stuff like, hitting the shit with the bats that she does with Greg. But she also might feel like too fatigued to do something like that. And it's not really all that common to break out the baseball bat in therapy, although maybe it should be. Um, well, if you need to do something in the clinical environment, often just doing something really simple but fun, like coloring, is a great idea. Coloring is one of the best sort of like passive upregulation exercises. Coloring, doodling, like anything that helps engage like some executive functioning, but that doesn't have to be particularly structured and, feels kind of like you're accessing simple positive emotion. The amount of times someone has come in and said, I don't want to talk about something. And if you just say, well, I think you should talk about it because rookie mistake, break out the coloring book, sit down with them and, get them coloring and just talk about life for a bit. And as you start to see, some energy and some humor infused with that, you very likely will naturally come upon some expulsion, some relief. And I found that this is really valuable, like putting them in control of something really simple and fun. You're more likely to be willing to engage with that difficult thing. It's kind of like how I talked about, being in proximity with B. It was a mutual benefit to both of them. Being around May lets her open up a different side of her quite a bit. And so, yeah, I mean, she's probably not really all that interested in like history lessons right now. She's too distracted. So, yeah, I would break out the coloring book or some Legos or I don't know, like there's nothing that says therapy has to be sitting in a cold room and talking to someone about your problems. Like, yes, that's an element of it, but that process should be surrounded with things that naturally benefit the person in the process. Crazy stuff, I know. Because if it's just clinical and dry, well, it's more likely to feel boring and not as empowering as it could be. I think I got one. Let us see. Cole the Mountaineer. Cole. Knew a guy named Cole once. That's close? It is. So what's up with this guy? Cole was from a flat land. This Midwest. Whatever the Midwest of wherever he was from was. Every place has a Midwest. This is true. He dreamed of mountains and devoted his life to climbing them. Because his hometown was flat? She seems so disinterested. Isn't this a common instinct? To seek that which is unlike where one grows up. Yeah. I mean, people go to the city a lot. Like they move there because it's got stuff and there's more people like them maybe. Sucks though. Not everyone can just up and leave. When I left my country, I felt the same thing, but I've not regretted it. You like Possum Springs? It is beautiful in ways perhaps invisible. He's a wise man. To those who have seen it every day of their lives. So what happened to Cole? He returned home and complained that the sky felt heavy. He had been up into the clouds, and now they rested hard upon him. That's a really specific compliment. When one leaves a place, one brings something back when one returns. One. Oof. That's all for the day. That was nice. Oh, man. It's hard seeing her like this. Pretty sweet. Stars, I mean. I'm in agreement. Wow, and there's like nothing to her drawings. None of the fun, goofy, artistic expression. Like, big snake. So expressive. It feels like she captured what she took away from the story, whereas these, they're essentially just a copy of the thing. She really didn't enjoy that, I don't think. Well, the stars. Yep. May, you should go home and get in bed. Nah, at least come down through the house so you don't break your neck falling off a roof. I'm good. I will watch you go. And call the ambulance if needed. Thanks. That's really nice. Least I can do. Girl, listen to him. You should go home and go to bed. You know, as much as I think like upregulation is needed if you're starting to lose interest in things like that. Yeah, it's not really gonna be all that effective if you're sleep deprived. It's sleep. I know what will help. I know some upregulation. Thievery. If we steal a pretzel, I'm sure this will excite her. Hey, what? What is this? What is this? Why can't I steal a pretzel? Do I already have a pretzel? No, it can't be. I can't be that depressed that I can't even steal a pretzel. A measly pretzel. What about these kids? What do they have going on? So, like, are you always together? Yeah, I guess. That's cool. Friends are cool. Safer. Safer? Yeah, like the buddy system. Safety in numbers. You're a little paranoid, you know that? Kid, you don't even know. Anyone hear anything about anyone around here missing? Yeah, actually. There's some girl I know online. She hasn't been on since Harfest. Okay, well, I think we might need a bit more than that. Okay. Is she from here? Could ask my aunt. Someplace called Mulvey. Mulvey? You know someone from Mulvey? Yeah? Do you know where Mulvey is? Do you know what Mulvey is? No? I heard about Mulvey. My dad drives a bread truck. Mulvey used to be one of his stops. What happened? He don't stop there no more. They had to pay some other guy to do it. Sounds about right. What's Mulvey? I'll take you out there this weekend. Don't. It'll be fine. We'll just drive through. I need to get back to the sun now. Good instinct, May. Get into the sun, and then take your little sweet kitty head home. Put it on a pillow, and sleep. Okay. I have to satisfy my curiosity. Why can't I steal a pretzel? Is it because I already have one and need to give it to the baby rats? I shall not do anything else until I know. Nothing else. You gotta still be interested in being a good rat mom. Oh, look. There's some rats there. And some rats here. There's a lot of rats. Are those my baby rats? My babies have left the nest. What? That's them? Oh my god, there's so many of them. There was only 4 of them last time. Aww. Oh, this is sad though. It's like a really positive thing hitting on a very depressing day, which it may not have the impact that it should. Oh, it's okay, May. This is going to be a very meaningful experience for you later in life. So far, it's like one of the only things we've been consistent with that's just purely had a positive outcome. Oh, it feels bittersweet. Well, in case no one else tells you, May, I'm proud of you. I am proud of you for raising those baby rats. And also being willing to let them go. It's a very cool, very mature thing that you did. Okay. Well, I did see Lori up here, so I want to know what she's up to. Oh, and we've got the violinist as well. Still up here? I mean, I left and went to work and so forth since we met. Is that a fiddle? It's a violin. That's like the same thing, right? It's a violin, I assure you. I just met someone else playing by themselves. Really? Yeah, across town in the abandoned building by the Click-Clack. They had one of those big saxophones. I just thought it was an interesting coincidence. Small town. Well, it is an interesting coincidence, especially considering you've been dreaming about musicians. Hey kid, what you up to? Hey adult. Nothing. Sounds good. I was gonna go down to the tracks. Did you want to come? Actually, yes, that does sound good. Maybe nearly endangering myself for the entertainment benefit to Lori will also liven us up a bit. Totally, let's. My friend Casey used to come out here and smoke. I used to smoke when I was younger. What? Aren't you like 12? Oh, really? Okay, it was once. I was younger though. I was 12. Okay, so maybe she's like, I don't know, slightly older. Good age to quit. I could vape. You could vape. I'm not gonna vape. Probably a good idea. So do you remember the thing we squished on the tracks last time? Yeah. What are we doing? Gonna make it flatter? Kinda, but no. You'll see. I'm gonna pick a new thing to squish him with. Alright then. Oh my god. Nothing to get the blood flowing, like a bit of irresponsible danger. You know what we don't have around here? A taco place. Serial killers. Oh, yeah. I mean, I'd vote for us getting a taco place first, but yeah. Never got around to getting our own serial killer. You ever think about murder? What the fuck? Lori, you good? Like, okay, so a few longest nights ago, I went to Bright Harbor with my aunt and cousin, and we went on the subway. And like, there's no railing down there above the tracks. And I had this sudden urge to like, shove someone off it. It was weird, and I felt guilty about it for a long time. But like, I didn't actually do it, so... I mean, is that normal? Yes. The internet therapist says that yes, thoughts of murdering people is normal. I don't mean that part. That I don't have a take on whether that part is normal, but the feeling guilty for similar kinds of thoughts that you have no intention to act on, yes, that is very normal. The sooner we accept that our thoughts are not things that we can or should try to control, the more at peace we will be. You're no more in control of your thoughts than you are of whether you're hungry. But you obviously have control over whether you satisfy that hunger or you respond to it or reject it or plan throughout the day for hunger to be better managed. Okay, that's kind of the relationship I see with your thinking. It's an automatic process, thinking. And in some way, you can influence the types of thoughts that you have. But you're not really supposed to try to control them in that sense. When you engage with the thought, well, what do you want to do with it? Do you want to satisfy your hunger? Do you want to be patient with it if, you know, you plan to eat something different? But when you think about something distressing or disturbing like that, and you start to wonder, why am I thinking about that? Does that mean I believe this thing or I would do that? You can start to feel shameful and guilty about it. And you shouldn't. It is totally normal to have like weird, distressing thoughts like that. If it ever becomes so overwhelming and consistent that it is disrupting you from daily life and creating anxiety like this, then yeah, that's, you know, where some cognitive behavioral stuff and some mindfulness will come into play. But generally, yeah, it's normal. You shouldn't feel bad for thinking about things that you don't actually act on, because you're not really in control of it anyways. I think that's pretty normal. I guess you actually did try to kill someone. That was different. How? That was like not planned. And I wasn't trying to kill him. It was just a thing that happened. So yeah, it wasn't like my first step on the way to serial killerdom. Sorry. Oh my god, this is so unnerving. I hate the way that they hang out. Interesting that we didn't get a train. I mean, still put our legs up. It's cool. You know what I like? Tacos. Pictures of the meteor that killed the dinosaurs. Where the dinosaurs are watching it in the sky. It's such a random pull. But she's totally right. Oh yeah. That's like every single picture of that meteor. Weird. Wonder if they knew. I kind of love what they talk about. It's interesting, but I hate the way that they hang out like this. This is crazy, May. Okay. Let's see what we got. Yay! Oh god, your little dudes are... It like hurts my soul. It speaks. The art speaks, May. It calls my name. That was cool. Yeah, it was. I gotta get going. Things are like hectic right now. Oh, what's up? Ah, jeez. Just like, be careful, okay? How so? Like, go home at dark. There's some bad stuff going on. Like what? God, I don't even know where to start. Just like, be careful. All right. Thanks for the warning. About whatever you're warning me about. Don't mention it. Laters. Kind of seems like she takes a little bit of responsibility. Like she feels a little guilty about what's going on. So these were the little dudes and how they got smashed. You know what? I guess nearly having your legs and lower half obliterated by a passing train is, you know, as close to coloring in a therapy session as May's gonna get. You know, not quite as peaceful, but probably, you know, woke her up a little bit. All right, let's move on. What? What is that? There's a cat. There's a cat on the roof, you all. Like, a regular cat. Okay, wait a second. Fucking shut it all down. What is going on up here? Oh, I can't. There's no... Wait, maybe if I triple jump. Can I get up there? Oh my god. Used to sometimes see other people up here. Is this not a thing anymore? Am I just old and out of touch? Whatever. It's awesome. I'm gonna put up a tent and camp out up here. Yes! Do it, May! Would definitely roll off and die. Okay, maybe don't do it. Thought. Roof cat is correct. I 1000% agree with you. Oh, this is a lot more lively and May-like. Dude, this cat is living the best life. I love how much she's inspired by this. She always, like, you see her eyes drift towards things that she, I think, has pretty deep thoughts about. So yeah, I mean, it would be a combination of those two things, that dialogue with May. She's got to feel better before we start talking about, you know, the stuff that's stressing her out. And I think just getting her mind off it and doing something fun, you know, where she feels a little more at ease to process these thoughts, and then starting to engage with, like, you know, this stuff that you're seeing. It feels isolating because so far she's the only one who believes in the ghost theory. Aunt doesn't believe in her. Hasn't really told her parents. Angus has his perspective. B doesn't believe her, of course. Doesn't really want to bring it up with people because she knows she's going to be judged, but at the same time, it feels like she knows what she saw. That's got to be pretty isolating. Hey, May. Hey, dude. Totally what's up? It's such a weird thing to say, but I kind of like it. Totally what's up? Nothing. You okay? Yep. Okay. Sorry. Don't mind me. Okay. then I won't. I'm sure Angus, you know, got his own stuff to think about. Let's take a peek upstairs. What's going on in the news? Coyote wandered into a snack falcon out past Brittle. Just like walked in. Yep, sat in the sandwich cooler. Did it eat a sandwich? According to this, the coyote just stared at the cashier. That's spooky. Coyote's a spooky animal. This is one of my favorite recurring characters. He just doesn't question at all that we come to his window to listen to the news. It's a nice little value add to this section of the town. Okay. Let's see how we're doing with another mystery of why the Smelters boys are feuding. So I says to her, Mabel, get off the dang table. And she goes, why don't you just climb up here with me? No way. It's true. We both danced on that table. Nearly broke the damn thing. Somehow I can't see it. Well, it had to be there. I really didn't. Oh my gosh. Well, we got a laugh out of him, and they're engaging with the story. This is great. This is a win. I'm gonna consider this a win. Considering there aren't many wins. They're not just flying around us right now. What's Greg up to? Greg, cheer me up. Sup, duder. Hey, how you holding up? Surviving. Had the weirdest dream last night. Really? I saw some space bugs. I think this is more out there. I met God. Jeez. And they were kind of an asshole. Huh. Yep. That's how my week is going. Can I offer you a complimentary slushie? I would be more surprised if you asked me to pay for anything in this store. To replace the idea of a caring God? I can throw in some chips. I'm good. So what's up? Yeah, we're just checking in. You have checked in, officially. I check thee. Yeah, man, Greg. He's still the coolest, but I can't deal with this right now. I gotta go hunt ghosts. But of course, gotta see if my man Germ is out there in the world somewhere. Always on the outskirts. Hey. Hey. Angel, this is my friend May. Friend? I actually consider that a high honor. The Germ calls us a friend. Hey May. What's up? Cool name. Gracias. Much obliged. Angel's just in town between trains. Going west next. Dude, Germ just meets the most random people. It's kind of cool. Yeah, then south for the winter. Like a dirty birdie. Down to the Gulf. Lay in the sun. Eat me some crawfish. Actually, Angle, you might be able to answer a question. Shoot, bro. Have you heard anything about a ghost in town? Oh, I'm curious about this. Have you met anyone named Casey out on the rails? Let me think. You know what he or she looked like? He looked kind of like me. A little taller. Orangish hair. Nah, man. I don't recollect. But I seen like 1,000 dudes out there. It's okay. I'll tell you what. I'll ask around, and if I find him, someone who's seen him, I'll say that May from Possum Springs is looking for him. Thanks. That means a lot. I owe you. Yeah, I think this is a pain point for her. It's an unanswered question about her childhood. Casey seems to kind of be the archetype of someone who like left Possum Springs for something different. And to have this in mind of like, it might not have gone well for him. It's a scary thought. Maybe makes you feel a little bit like there is no way out of this. It's either stay or die. Nah. It's a cold world, run by the worst people, and good men die for God knows what reason. He's not wrong. We gotta take on, like, duties for one another, you know? Yeah. Thanks again. What's traveling like? It's good. It's good. Never could stay in one spot. I have, like, the exact opposite problem. All right, partners. Time for me to shove off. See ya, Angel. Stay safe. Adios. Angel's pretty cool. Well, that's over. No fun? No fun. Something bad's coming. I know. It's a ghost germ. A real-life ghost. There aren't ghosts. Ghosts aren't a thing. How do you know? My brother would have visited. Damn, oh man. Jeez. Ugh, germ is just way too real. Well, dinner time. See ya. What a fucking bomb to drop on us, germ. With such certainty, he said. I know they're not real because my brother would have visited me. God, it says so much, though, about what kind of relationship that was. Like, Germ is kind of like May. It's just this... seems to be able to talk to, like, the most random of people. I think May's ability to communicate with people who are not sort of, well, like Germ, kind of in touch with, you know, the out-of-town perspective. She probably has an easier time with that, whereas, like, I don't know, normies probably find Germ weird or something. But I think that that's something they share. Germ is a little aloof and probably doesn't get on with everyone, but the fact that he considers us a friend, and that comment about his brother, I mean, it shows that, like, connection to people is very important to him. Where I think many people would just kind of characterize him as, like, a strange, you know, outsider or a weirdo. But he's very kind. I mean, welcomes you into his world if you're curious. And, well, I find that's true for most people. If you show up with curiosity and general interest in people, you will see a very different side of them than if you just engage with them with your initial biases. And maybe that's why May has such high, like, social fluency, is because she doesn't really have a lot of prejudice about people. Like, she has her opinions and stuff, but I don't know, I find her pretty open-minded to, like, I don't know, people's alternative views. Curious to hear what they have to say, etc. Hey, can you do me a favor? Sure. Can you tell Pastor Kate something for me? Sure. But don't tell her this till tomorrow. Can you do that? Sure. Tell her I said thank you. And I'm sorry I caused her trouble. But I'm not worth throwing away her job. She's the pastor after all. Folks need her. Are you leaving? Yep. Gonna hop on a train tonight. Headed east. Where will you go? I'm going home. Wow, really? Never gonna touch a bottle again. Never gonna lift a hand to no man again. Sit on my daughter's front porch. Watch my grandbabies play in the yard. It'll all be there. Gonna get off that train. The kids are gonna be there. They'll have a sign they made. Nothing fancy. Poster board and markers. Welcome home, Dad. Oh. And I'll be home. That sounds great, Bruce. Yep. Thanks for talking to me. It's nice to get to know you. And Bruce is the perfect characterization of what I'm talking about. Like, people's initial bias, oh, he's unhoused, he looks scraggly, smoker, bags under the eyes, you know, maybe a bit strange. Probably wants something, maybe a freeloader, you know, like all kinds of stuff that it seems like the city council or other pastor members or whoever he's inferring put Pastor Kate's job at risk. But It's just so common to engage people with an initial bias, stigma. And I just find that May doesn't really do that. She's just like, she has one, but then she's like very quick to allow a fresh perspective. She considers a second impression, I think, which is really important. So she doesn't judge someone like Germ for being, you know, someone who doesn't really live in town. Doesn't judge Lori for, you know, being younger and kind of odd. Certainly doesn't judge, you know, Greg and Angus and Bee. Bee's reaction to her felt like she was being judged, but I didn't see it as that. I think she just was mishandling the conversation. But yeah, she's really open-minded to people and approaches them with a very earnest curiosity that I think allows them to connect with her like this. Like, it's very clear that Bruce appreciates her as one of few people who just didn't see him as a threat, didn't see him as, you know, a burden. Like, it's not like she really did anything for him, practically, you know, but she showed up, continued to talk to him, continued to show interest. You too, Bruce. Gonna miss you. We'll all meet again. I hope so. Hope's important. It's the last thing you got. You take care of yourself. You too, May. I'll be fine, you know. I'm an old hand at this. Maybe older than I should have ever got to. But I'll be fine. See you around, Bruce. Goodbye, May. Ah, I actually really like this end to the storyline for Bruce and for May. I think, yeah, it really puts on quite visibly her like lack of judgmentalness towards people. I'm not saying she's like flawless at this. She definitely has moments where she's pretty judgmental too. And, you know, can at times miss what seem like more obvious cues. But I feel like she just starts from a point of neutral curiosity with a lot of people, which I think is one of the most important ways that you can connect. And yeah, you get a very different side of people in that sense. Okay, let's see what Mama Cat's up to. Oh, there they all are. Because there will be children there. And this is a historic church that's half empty. That's your job to fix, not ours. The population drain in this region. You have to know this place will never be full again. We have the space, and we have people who need space. We have resources, and we have poverty. And not in some far-off place or some big city. Right here. Right across the street. Katie, it's our #1 job right now to bring businesses into town. Businesses mean jobs, and jobs mean people. We have to do what we can to get the attention of the market. And having a half-dead church stacked full of bums. Thanks for your time. We'll see you for the vote tomorrow night. Thank you, Kate. You have a good heart, Kate. Thank you all for coming. That was fucking tasteless. Stressful day. Some days you need grace more than others. Was this all about Bruce? It was. Is. Whatever. It's out of our hands now. But there are better hands than mine. Anyway, how are you, May? Sounds serious. I guess. So, like, things have been rough lately. I can see that. What seems to be the trouble? I think I met God. What? It was a dream. No, I think she's pretty clear on it was a dream. But God talks to us that way, right? Sure. Can you tell me about it? It was like the shore of this giant black ocean. I could see like forever into the sky. And below it was just sand, as far as I could see. I was wandering through it, but I was like drawn to something. And I came up over this What do you call a hill made of sand? A dune. Yeah, a dune. And there was God, just sitting there, up on another hill. Or dune. Whatever. Just hanging out. Yeah. Seemed like they were really into just hanging out. Did they say anything? Yeah. They, didn't care. They were kind of a jerk. Yeah, I think she's taking it that way. I mean, more of a straight up asshole. Sorry, can I say that in a church? I think the structure can handle the shock. They went on and on about how annoyed they were that people kept coming to them with questions, and annoyed that anyone thought they were God to begin with. Well, I don't think that was God then. Why? If something tells you it isn't God, you should probably believe it. No, what I mean is that the thing we call God isn't God. It's just a thing, and it doesn't care. They kept talking about how nothing matters. Like the universe is ending, and everything's being forgotten. It sounds very lonely. Have you been feeling lonely lately? Yes. Emotionally lonely, like I was getting at. I think isolated in experience. I had this problem when I was in high school, and I did something really bad. You probably heard about it. Your mom has mentioned it. Yeah, I figured. Well, since then, there's this deep down loneliness. Been there for years. Since, well, it's been a long time. I've been there. I mean, I'm there all the time. I think that's where, if we open ourselves up, God can enter our lives most effectively. Ooh. Uncertainty, or do we just, I don't know, is she really committed to that? I don't know. I don't know if she's all the way there. Let's just go with, I guess. Sometimes that's the best you've got. Yeah. I feel like that's maybe not a good enough answer for you. Is it a good enough answer for anyone? Faith is a process. You have to keep getting up and choosing to go on. Do you really think there's a God? Like, literally someone up there listening? Is it something you completely believe? I don't know. No. On my best days, I think I do. There are times where I don't. But you stand up there every Sunday and tell people you do. And even you're not sure? It's your job to believe. Well, I think it's more my job to serve others. But you're lying to people. How? You stand up there and tell people to believe in something that you don't 100% believe in yourself. Maybe you're right, May. Maybe I should get up there every week and give some sort of tally of how much I believed that week. But who would that help? But you're a pastor. This is interesting. Yeah, she's thinking in such a black and white space. And you can't tell me whether or not God is up there? Whether anyone is watching? Anyone who gives a shit? No, but then what is the point of you? I have to go. Okay. I think she really just wants someone to be the authority and give her a definitive answer. You know, in the world of therapy and mental health, like so much of the work that we do is on people's comprehensibility. Do they understand themselves, the world, their problems, etc.? We go in search of insight and can we comprehend the living experience we're having? We also work on manageability. That's all of the skills work. When we discover and understand the problems in our life, do we know how to address them, respond to them effectively? But comprehensibility and manageability are only two parts of the full triangle. It's also important to work on meaningfulness. Having a good understanding and being able to do something with that understanding, they're both important, but that third piece, meaningfulness, is the thing that ties those together. And unfortunately, it's a lot less prescriptive than the other two. In comparison, it's quite easy to like understand people's problems, and manageability is difficult and it ranges from person to person, but there's a lot of skills in a lot of ways that you can learn it. But how do you grasp and get meaningfulness from life? Well, you can either look for it in figures like Kate and through the structure of faith, or any authority figure, really. Maybe we look to our parents or teachers for guidance for how to make sense of the world that we're in, and most especially of the things that we can't comprehend and don't know how to manage. Like May can't comprehend why adults act the way they do sometimes. She can't really manage certain barriers in her lifestyle. And so we go in search of meaning to explain, well, is there some like design to all of this? Is there someone up there making the decisions? Is there an order to what seems like kind of a miserable world sometimes? And is there anyone looking over all of these people that's out there and is capable of helping people who need it, and will give judgment to those who, don't act in kindness in this world? Like, of course it's an attractive idea. This all-encompassing sense of meaning that explains and helps us organize all of those things. I don't know. I certainly am not an authority figure on, whether something like that exists. But I think it's so natural to look for it in someone like Kate, who May looks up to as someone who, if not has all the answers, communes with the person who does, or represents the archetype of someone who has an undying faith. And even though she doesn't get the direct script from God on how life should be, she just believes so strongly that a script exists. Well, on one extreme you have Angus, who says, I believe in a universe that doesn't care and people that do. In a sense, he's kind of talking about someone like Kate. It doesn't matter whether she's getting marching orders from God to be a good person. She just is one. And her actions are good, whether or not there's a final tally at the end of the day, whether she was faithful enough, kind enough, supportive enough. What she's doing is meaningful to herself, and even though she doubts in some ways whether there's an order to all of this, I don't think in any way lessens her impact. I think May is really struggling to see that right now, because she wants a simple answer to the question of meaning. And so far, she's getting kind of a negative interpretation from her dreams. And Katie, a positive person, she was hoping something more definitive, but I actually appreciate that she was honest. And she didn't dismiss May outright for, what she's saying. So I don't fault either of them, really. I think May is just in a really challenging spot with this. The fact that she's engaging with it at all, I think is good. Sometimes it takes people their whole lives. And sometimes we never really resolve that question. Is there anything that makes all of this make sense? Me personally, I think I live in the headspace that Angus does, which is I'd rather there be a world and a universe even where there is no inherent meaning. It's not assigned or ordained in some sense. Because, well, then you can just decide for yourself what's meaningful. I don't like the idea that if I discover meaning in something and that turned out to not be one of the actually meaningful things, that was decided before I ever got involved, well, then it wouldn't really feel like my story. And so I prefer a world without inherent meaning, and I don't find that sad. I find it really encouraging and something that allows us to kind of make meaning ourselves. If nothing really matters, then you get to decide what does. Hey, hun. Are you still having headaches? Yeah, but being out and about helps. Fresh air. Thanks for visiting me here, hon. Brightens my day. Feels weird being in here today. Like, there's so much empty space. Come on Sunday. It's full then. I bet it is. Sorry you have to work because we have money problems. May, I've always had a job. This is just another one. Gotta get back to work, sweetie. See ya, mommers. Oh, oh, see ya, daughters. That is so sweet, mommers. Okay. I think it's finally time to go hang out with B. You know, we started the day kind of rough. Basically already the evening. But I do think that what we did accomplish what I was talking about in the beginning, this little bit of uplift to her state. Hasn't all been great. I mean, I think some of this stuff that we just talked about at the church is, you know, tied some more knots in our mind than unraveled them. But she's right. Getting out and about, getting some fresh air, seeing some people who are excited about seeing her, I think has been good. Okay. You know, I think this is actually where we're going to pause for now. If the hangout with B is anything like our last hangout with her or similar to Angus's, then there may be a lot of stuff to cover in that, or it could lead us into the next big story beat. So I want to save that for its own episode. For now, we've just spent the day trying to find balance, and I do think we found a little bit of it. So with that said, thank you all for watching. Be good to yourselves, and I'll see you next time.